they say I'm a bad boy. You can't have good without bad, I guess.
Oh no, there they go.
I'm ticked right now.
Well, we know what Tony thinks.
I'm not happy, I'm not cordial, I'm not nice.
Tony Stewart wins.
I'm honest and I speak what's on my mind.
Three-time NASCAR Sprint Cup champion, Tony Stewart wins it.
This is the home of Stewart Haas Racing, winner of the 2011 Sprint Cup Championship, behind owner-driver Tony Stewart. Now, Stewart's a man on the move, so we caught up with him at a photo shoot, which is a far cry from his grassroots. They're roots that Tony has clung to through the years in his struggle to stay authentic in the world of big-time racing. This is sort of the part of you that we never see.
Well, this is the part that anybody that thinks that we just show up at the racetrack and drive for 3 days and then we go home and get 4 days off is very, very wrong. This is part of the deal.
When do you ever sit still with your schedule?
That's a really good question.
Such is life for Tony Stewart, who maintains a dual personality in NASCAR as a driver and an owner since forming Stewart Haas Racing in 2009. There were a lot of skeptics when you decided to become a team owner. Did you have any trepidation about it?
It was a big leap of faith. It was it was like standing on the edge of a cliff, making a decision of, here you had a safety net with a great race team behind me where I was at, or the opportunity to go out on my own. There's nights when I go to bed going, what was I thinking? There's mornings I wake up and go, what was I thinking? But I've never in my life had a feeling like we had at Homestead last year.
This time he's an owner-driver. Tony Stewart wins it.
You guys are awesome.
Stewart won his third Sprint Cup championship last year, the latest in a career filled with wins at every imaginable level. If it has wheels and an engine, you'll race it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, what have you raced? Just take us through the list.
Go-karts, three-quarter midgets, full-size midgets, sprint cars, Silver Crown cars, wing sprint cars.
Here comes Tony Stewart. He's into sixth, fifth, fourth. He's into third.
IMCA modifieds, super modifieds, big block modifieds, small block modifieds, super late models, crate late models, pavement late models, truck series, nationwide series, cup series, IndyCar.
Is there
Drove
anything
a Formula
you
One
wouldn't
car.
race?
I drove a monster truck.
You've driven a monster truck.
I drove a monster truck once.
Growing up in Columbus, Indiana, Stewart began his career at the age of 7. His father eventually mortgaged the family's home so Tony could race go-karts. Your dad taught you to not settle for second. How much did he push you?
He pushed like a bulldozer. It wasn't about whether, we obviously wanted to win and always loved winning. But when it came to him dealing with me, there were races that I won that I still got sat down and had to talk to about, even though we won.
How did you handle losing?
It was just like having a needle jabbing at you. You just wanted to go the next week that much more and win. And that's the way my whole life's been.
You can see how angry Stewart is because that well could have been his race to win.
I don't like losing. It's always about trying to win.
You seem like a very measured person, a calm person sitting here, a
Who told
person
you
with
that?
a real plan. Well, sitting here,
I'm out of control. Are you kidding me?
where does that side of you come from, that bad boy, out of
That's the
control
passion.
side?
That's the passion. I've always been one that I've always wore my emotions on my shoulder. I don't have much of a filter, and I'm all right with that.
Tony is not happy at the moment.
Come on, man, keep going.
Right away, rookie season, you served notice that temper was going to be front and center. What was the dynamic there?
I think that was still, I don't think from the time I was a teenager through that period that I was through that reckless stage yet. Again, I had a very short fuse and a very short temper. And it didn't go away in a couple years. I mean, it lasted a while.
What you want to do? You know what? You're going to do what I'm going to do. I'll slam you straight in the wall the next time you're anywhere near me.
You're a bunch of idiots because I was the fastest car on the racetrack at the end.
Go write about something important. Don't waste my time.
The fans were booing you and flipping you off. They didn't like you. You were the villain. How much of that did you take home?
A lot. Took it all home, and that was the problem. I got so consumed with and so upset with that it nearly ruined me. It nearly drove me out of the sport. And I got to the point where twice I was ready to hang it up.
When did you first feel that way?
You know, it kind of started when I had that run-in at Martinsville, and you know, it was ironic because shortly after that, Dale Sr. and I were at driver introductions. He put his arm around me and he goes, "Kid, you finally made it." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "When you went across there, 100% of the people in this place did something, whether they cheered you or whether they booed you, 100% of the people reacted to you. Now you've made it." Anybody that says we're there for the fans, they're lying. Nobody starts in this sport because of the fans. They start in the sport because they love driving race cars.
In 2002, you win your first Sprint Cup championship, and one might think winning is going to alleviate some of that sense of anger or some of that frustration, but it didn't, did it?
No, it's just like when people say that money can't buy everything. It's the same deal. Winning is always a Band-Aid for any problem that you got going on.
That's the same year that you had the infamous incident where you punched a photographer.
I never did connect it, but I swung at him. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And it was actually a guy that I got along with. But I was so frustrated at Indy that year. You know, all I'd ever wanted to do since I was a kid was win at Indy. And we were in a position to do that, and I just didn't want anybody in my face. And he got too close.
At what point did you say to yourself, man, this being
control.
angry all the time thing is not working anymore?
When it got feeling out of control, it's like, we got to figure something out here. There's more to it than this. I can't hinge my whole life on whether I'm winning races or losing races. This is not an easy sport. Anybody that thinks it's easy, it's ludicrous to think. There's a lot that goes on, and it doesn't matter whether you're, you know, the guys on the bottom of the rung, whether you're Jeff Gordon, Jimmie Johnson, or Dale Jr., everybody has something that they struggle with. And
what do you struggle with the most?
I still struggle with just being me. You know, I can't say I don't understand the celebrity side of it, because I do, but I think I still fight hardest just to be a normal person.
You're so busy. You have so much going on. Do you feel like you have a full life, or is there anything missing?
Well, I would love to say that I've got a wife and a family, but it's probably the one thing in my life that I haven't accomplished, but I want to accomplish.
Are you like a big junk food guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really? Mm-hmm. What's in your refrigerator?
I've got Coke,
Okay.
water, and milk. There's a lot of stuff that you either take the lid off or a chip clip off, and that's what's there. Anything else, you have to go out and get it.
Yeah, you're sort of the quintessential bachelor, I must say. Okay, so if you had a profile on a dating website, I don't know, what would
It'd be
it say?
It'd be like, "Don't pick me, I'm a train wreck." So they need a dating site that is about people that are all train wrecks, and I could probably fit right in. This is my life. This is what I've done since I was 7 years old, and I don't want to stop. I love this life.